so much to Zinnia for sponsoring today's video. They reached out to me about diving into the Zinnia app with you because it's such a creative app for journaling and planning on the iPad. Even though they are sponsoring today's video and working with me on it, all views and opinions of the app are my own. I do have my own creative freedom when it comes to selecting sponsorships for KDigitalStudio, but I did just want to throw that out there. We're gonna have some fun today. So you can find and download the Zinnia app for free in the App Store. You'll have a 7-day free trial to start, and then you can opt into their subscription for $40 a year. Now, I normally hate subscriptions. I would rather just pay outright for an app and be able to use it whenever I want and not have to worry about upkeeping any subscriptions. However, after using Zinnia a little bit before diving into this video, there's just so many sticker packs and sticker sets and templates, as you'll see later in this video, and it's very obvious that they're connecting with designers to release these packs monthly, and so I can understand where that $40 subscription is coming from, and I think it's worth it. So I think $40 a year is more than fair, especially what you're getting with Zinnia. And I truly don't say that about most subscription-based apps, okay? But at the very least, if you're not sure whether or not Zinnia is for you, you have a really nice trial to try out, so there's really no harm in it. Zinnia is a really cool mashup of a lot of creative features I know many of you have been after when it comes to journaling and planning on your iPad. Zinnia is definitely an app I can see myself using more and more in the future, especially for more elaborate and creative spreads. The fact that there are so many stickers and collection packs and frames and templates, almost an overwhelming amount really. I don't really have to stress over trying to find the perfect digital stickers to use in my spread that day in GoodNotes, or pulling up Procreate alongside it and trying to doodle out something to pull into my planner. Everything is built right there into the Zinnia app. It's just a really nice, stress-free, and easy way to plan and creatively journal. It also opens me up to new styles aside from my own that I can use throughout my spreads and anything that I create or decide to plan in Zinnia. Alright, so opening the Zinnia app, this is what my Zinnia looks like whenever I open it. There's a few extra notebooks here that you won't see whenever you first open the Zinnia app. This is just me kind of exploring the app, testing out a few notebooks for myself. But as you can see, whenever you first open the app, you'll have a journals section. They have a wonderful quick start guide. I really like this quick start guide that they included in the Zinnia app because not only does it go through everything for the app to get you acquainted with it, but it's also very interactive, telling you to add things, pick up things, move things around. It's a very interactive quick start guide, which is super helpful whenever you're first learning the Zinnia app. So scrolling through the quick start guide here, you can see that the studio allows you to add stickers, templates, frames. There's just so much within this app. You can also add photos, you can add text, and you can draw anything. So a very immersive app when it comes to creative journaling and planning on your iPad. So here's just a few of the basics. Obviously, you can pinch in, zoom out. So you can actually rotate your canvas, which is really nice. So it blends a few features of some well-known apps that I'm sure you're aware of. And I like being able to rotate the canvas. I think that's just a really nice feature that you don't see in a lot of other kind of note-taking and journaling apps. So swiping through here, here's some parts of the studio, your sticker icons that you're able to move around. Here you can unlock things to move things around. If you tap this, there's copy paste. You can save this to your own kind of sticker collection within Zinnia. And a feature of Zinnia that I really love is just being able to lock things down. Here we can add images. So if I click this photo icon, I can add an image of my art, for example. So adding that in here. So I definitely recommend going through the quick start guide within Zinnia. It's just a really helpful, and as you can see, very interactive guide whenever you are first learning the Zinnia app. There's several pages here for using your drawing tools, using the image tools, the sticker tools, text tools, rotating objects, selecting multiple objects. If we hold our finger, for instance, we can lasso and move all of these things around. It's just a really handy guide for everything you need to know. So let's exit out this so we can dive more into the other features of the Zinnia app. So these are some journals that I created, just kind of exploring the Zinnia app. Here's our journals dashboard. If we move over to Studio, we can see the new things that Zinnia has added to their app. And as you can see, they're adding so many more features every single day, every single month. And we already have some really cool January things here. They have featured artists, lots of templates and practice pages. There's just a lot to dig into with the Zinnia app. Let's move back over to journals though. You can start a new journal here by clicking new journal. And what's great about Zinnia is that they already have pre-made journals. If you just want to go ahead and start diving in, maybe learn some of the features before kind of creating your own. You can also just start with a basic page here. And you can also now import PDFs in Zinnia. So that means if you already have a digital planner, maybe from KDigitalStudio that you love using, you can click this button here to import them. So let's say I want to import one of my reading journals. I can import that in here. And so now I've imported one of my reading journals, and it's just the same way with regular digital planning. If you're familiar with digital planning, you can click through and really make use of your interactive PDFs that way. So let me hop over because I'm sure you're all curious about Cyberry in Zinnia. Cyberry is the newest planner line from KDigitalStudio. Available in light and dark mode, there's also a community, a reward system. Cyberry is very immersive as well, and you can just click through here and hit go to link and it goes to that page. If I go to the home page, let's say I want to hop over into November, for instance, I can click November and hit go to link, and everything is all here. You can still get the digital planning experience in the Zinnia app as well if you do have an interactive PDF that you like using. All right, so let's go ahead and create our own journal though. I would love to create different digital scrapbooking style journals within Zinnia. I'm just going to click start a new journal just to quickly show you some of the full journals that they have though. They do have some monthly lists here. They have a 2021 and now the 2022. They also have a weekly planner, some basic planners to start with, a creative planner. We got a doodle planner. There's just all kinds of things that you can go ahead and just jump into. Also have a lettering guide, which is pretty cool, teacher and student planner, a techno planner, as well as a wedding planner. But I'm going to start just a fresh journal just so you can kind of see that side of things. So I'm just going to click start with a blank page. What's great about Zinnia is they can customize the size of your pages as well as whether they're in landscape or portrait. You can have single or double spreads. So as you can see, there's a crease within these. We're gonna go with landscape because I like working in landscape. And I'm just going to start with a blank white, but as you can see, you can choose a number of beautiful colors here. I really like this kind of purpley mauve color. You can select this icon and choose your own color as well. I'm going to stick with white here, and I think I'm going to go with the standard 11 by 8.5. So we'll do that. I'll hit begin new journal, and then it opens up into our spread. I do want to quickly jump out of this though, and then click these three dots here. You can actually change your cover as well as save your PDF. You can print it, you can share your journal, you can duplicate it. I'm going to rename this, and let's just name this like elopement. I have a lot of elopement photos, so I'll just use those to show you how to make some spreads. And here you can actually just change kind of like your basic color here, or you can change your cover to one of the covers they already have, and they have quite a few like very realistic looking ones. I love these composition books for like things like classes. They have these really cool leather bound, like very organic looking covers, but of course you can just go with a simple color. You can also select choose a photo here and choose a photo that you want to use for your cover. So let's see if I have a good photo maybe to try out that feature. There. And as you can see, it changes my image to that cover as well. I'm just going to select done and then hop back over into my journal. So as you can see, this is kind of like the full page view of the Zinnia app. I can select add new page here and select a new page to start. I'm just gonna hop back over into this spread here. And now we're given our blank slate. So maybe you have a lot of ideas and you're kind of swarming, maybe overwhelmed with this kind of blank slate. So we're just gonna hop in to see what Zinnia offers. So we have 4 tools to start up here in our toolbar. We have this kind of like sticker icon. We have our image icon, so that's pretty straightforward, right? just pull our images from our camera roll. We have the text tool so we can type, and then we have this draw feature, which we'll get more into in just a moment. I do want to click this little sticker here, and this accesses the Zinnia Studio. Within the Zinnia Studio, you can see their collections here at the top, and there's also a number of categories. Categories like templates, stickers, they have a collections category as well as journal cards, text boxes, planner icons, paper packs, lettering, washi tape frames, and dividers. So let's say you are pretty overwhelmed with this blank page in front of you. You want to get some ideas down, see what they offer. Hopping over to templates, you can see that they offer daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, journals, trackers, tutorials. So a bunch of stuff. You can just click into any of these and look at all these beautiful spreads. So this is just the weekly, but as you can see, there's just a lot of different styles, a lot of different features here. This one has planner rings to kind of make it look like a planner. If we click into this, it fills our page all ready for us to go. We can resize it with our fingers if we want. If we tap it, we can actually lock this into place so we don't accidentally move it, which is a really handy feature. I really love all these modern florals here on the side, and then you have your weeks here. I'm gonna tap it again and hit unlock. You see we have some tools down here in the bottom. I'm just going to hit the trash can icon to remove it. Hopping back over into our templates though, as you can see, there's just so much here within the templates. Of course, we have that same with stickers. I'm just overwhelmed, honestly, with the possibilities of all the stickers included in this app. As you can see, they have main categories, but then within those main categories, they offer more specific categories that you can jump into, things like mushrooms or nature mod, neutral nature, just all kinds of things here. Got a retro and vintage category, which I think I would have tons of fun with. This would also be a great place to travel journal. They have so many travel stickers that I was looking at. They have these really cool journal cards that you can use for part of your journaling that I love. They also have these really cool looking text boxes. I love these sticky notes. You can type directly in them and they're really easy and nice and laid out for you. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to create maybe a wedding style spread. I have a lot of wedding photos and that's what's available on my iPad. So we're just going to go with that. I'm going to actually go into paper packs. They have a lot of kind of background style papers that I really like. And I think that would be a really nice feature to have kind of like a background. I love these florally backgrounds. I really like that one. So what I'm going to do is just pinch with my fingers to kind of fill this page. And we're going to make use of some of the icons here. These up and back arrows here allows us to layer our photos. So if I click this, it says object move to the front. Obviously you can't really see that because I just have one object within my journal. This one will move it to the back. This little checkered icon here is how you can adjust the opacity of whatever you added to your journal, which I think is a really nice feature. So while I do really love these bold florals that I've added, it might kind of clash with any other things that I add to my journal. So I'm actually just going to decrease the opacity a bit here. And that looks great. I'm going to tap this again and hit lock so I don't accidentally move this whenever I go to add more things to it. Take a look at some of these frames here. Maybe I can use some of these frames for my photos. As you can see, there's just a good number of things that you can add and use within Zinnia that it kind of takes a little bit of exploration. So this is in the Glided Geo collection. I'm just going to kind of have this placed here. And let's see, I'll probably grab a few more just to kind of plan out where I want my stickers. So I'm pinching to rotate these. And let's see, let's grab this one too. Okay, so now I have the layout for my images that I'm going to add, and let's take a look at some text boxes. Maybe I want to add those, but I'm not sure. These stickers would be super cute for kind of a more bullet journal style spread. I really like those, especially these more like hand-drawn ones. I also really like these kind of like scrapbook style stickers as well. I really like this one. You can see this kind of bluish box pop up. That's where you'll add your text, and it has it all laid out really nice for you. All right, let's go ahead and add some pictures though before I get too far into decorating. I'm gonna click my pictures icon here, and you can see it accesses my camera roll. I'm gonna move over to albums just because I have everything in a shared album. And I'll just pick some photos here that I think would look nice in this spread. Okay, so I selected 3 photos to go inside my frames here and added them. Now I'm just going to pick up each one by one and then have them fit within the frames. So I kind of like the idea of the frames kind of being a more organic thing. So as you can see, I have my photo placed on top of my frame. I'm just going to select this object back button to move the picture behind the frame. I kind of like how it looks more organic and doesn't line up. I really like the way that looks. And then I'm going to do the same for my photos here. So let's see. And then we'll just move that back. And then I will do the same for this one. All right, so now that I have my photos in there, let's see what we can get in trouble with our stickers here. So I know somewhere in here there were wedding style stickers. So here we go, under events. And we have some cutesy stickers here. Let's go with some really nice stickers that will also complement this kind of gold as well as some of the florals here. Alright, now that I have some of that in there, some of these great stickers, I already have a great spread and it's only taken me just a few seconds, a few minutes to create this really nice spread. So there's just so much creative potential when it comes to creative journaling, scrapbooking, and planning on your iPad with Zinnia. Just a really great spread in just a matter of moments. I don't have to worry about searching through my stickers because there's already so much built into the app, and pulling up other apps alongside it to create my own spreads. I think this is just a really handy thing to have on the go whenever you just want something maybe a little more stress-free. So now let's get into the text tool a bit, as well as a few of the draw and handwriting features, which I'm sure you're really interested in. So if I click my text box here, I can go ahead and double tap on my text box to immediately start typing within the text box. Here, if I click my A, you can see where I can change the line size and color, as well as the font itself. They do allow custom fonts. They access those profiles that you install for fonts on your iPad. If you're not familiar with how to install fonts on your iPad, I'll be sure to link my tutorials for that below. But there's just a lot of options here because, again, you can use these custom fonts. So let's select a font here that I can use. So I'm going to open up my keyboard here, have my font selected, and I'm just going to test out to see what size I like. And then you can just do a little bit of journaling here if you wanted to. So that's what I'll do. All right, now that I have my little bit of journaling in there, I'm just going to decrease the size of this a bit. Get a size that I like, and there we have our little journals. Remember that this little heart piece of paper as well is also kind of a place to journal, so I'll do that. Here I can also kind of change the style of my text as well. I'll have that centered, and I'm going to decrease the size of this a bit. So now I have a little bit of journaling as well. How about if we want to actually handwrite or draw some features? So if I click this kind of squiggle icon here, it pops up our toolbar here in the bottom. And as you can see, there are a number of tools that we can start with. Here we have this. If we click this, you can see more of the tools that they offer. So as you can see, they have a marker, a pencil, a technical pen, highlighter, brush pen, paint pen, airbrush, and watercolor. So a little more options when it comes to actually planning and writing things out, and just in regular old note-taking app, you know, Zinnia has a few other options here. So I'm going to actually test these out on a blank spread just so you can see them a lot better. So I'm just going to create a new page and then test these out for you. So let's start with the marker. I'll start with this color that I already have kind of selected, this kind of mauve-y pinky color. If I click this, you can see that we can actually change some of the features about the marker itself. We can change the size here. We can also change the opacity of the marker as well. You know, markers tend to be have a little bit of transparency. We can also change the smoothing of our tool as well, which is really handy. Kind of add more stability to our strokes. So here is the marker. I love, love, love that texture. It's very creamy, kind of reminds me of gouache on the iPad. So I really like that. Hopping over to our pencil here. Here is our pencil. I really love the pencil texture with this one. It's really nice. Moving to our technical pen here, very pen-like, definitely very pen-like. It's a really nice tool. It's very smooth and easy to write with. Then we have our highlighter here. Love that. Now we have some bright colors for our highlighter. Here is our brush pen. Let me change that to something other than white. So this is our pressure sensitive pen here, which is really nice. Moving into our paint pen. Also a really fun tool, very smooth to work with. We have our airbrush. Let me change this to a color. That'll be really nice for creating kind of a washed out background maybe. Add some flair to your pages, that's really nice. And then we have watercolor, which I'm sure many will love. You have kind of that same airbrush effect, but with the kind of toothiness of traditional watercolor paper, which is a really nice effect. So you have a lot of tools to work with. Of course, you can go into these settings here and kind of adjust them as well. So that's a really handy feature within Zinnia. So let's hop back over to my kind of elopement spread here and maybe draw some doodles or use a little bit of my handwriting so you can see the tools. I really love all of these tools. I'm not really sure which ones I'm gonna use first. With the color tool here, let's say I want to pick up any of the colors from this spread, I can click this plus icon and you'll see that there's an eyedropper tool. You can actually move this eyedropper around to pick up colors from the spread, which you know I really love whenever apps have this eye color or this eyedropper color dropper feature, because I really love picking up colors to kind of create cohesive spreads, and so I really like having that feature with Zinnia. So it gives you instructions here. Zinnia is very user-friendly. I'm just going to click done so I can pick up that color. This is the watercolor. And as you can see, I can actually go in and kind of color wherever I want, add some kind of flair to that page if I wanted to. Let's say that I don't like that though, I can actually just go into my eraser here and just erase all that up. All right, let's hop into some writing tools though. I think I will start maybe with the technical pen, and we'll go with black here just so I can have things show up on the spread and maybe do some fun doodles. This pen writes so nicely. I love like the feeling of it being stabilized and that I'm not worried that I'm gonna have kind of like scraggly handwriting or anything. It's just really nice to write with on the iPad. You can see that they have some of the same features whenever it comes to other creative apps of tapping to undoing or redoing. It's very nice and everything feels very seamless. Again, I love being able to rotate the canvas because it makes things so much easier to draw if you do decide that you want to draw in Zinnia. And so there is my spread that I created so quickly, but it ended up looking really nice, almost kind of like professionally done. Like there's just so much within the app. I love all the stickers, and there's just so many styles that you can use, different ways you can express yourself with the Zinnia app in a way that you might not have been able to before. Just to show you a few more of the features though, if I click these three dots in the corner, as you can see, I can kind of change up a lot of the kind of properties within the Zinnia app as well. I could save this spread to my photos. I can also save this as a PDF or print it if I wanted to. I know a lot of people who do a lot of digital scrapping on the iPad are looking into ways that they can print and kind of memorialize their spreads that they've created, and so you could print from there. You can also share the spread. Here you can actually change the page style that you've already kind of set. You can add a new page here or duplicate the page. Here is where you're also able to import your PDFs if you wanted to, and here's a few more of the settings that I was talking about before. So here is where you can enable your 2-finger undo whenever you're needing to undo something that you maybe messed up or want to kind of redo within the app. You can enable that. You can also enable scribble here in your text areas. So let's say I added a text box if I wanted to, maybe one of these fun like watercolor ones, just so I can show you. I can enable scribble if I wanted to make use of scribble. You want to make sure that scribble is also turned on in the settings of your iPad, however. I'm going to tap this and then I have my scribble here. So I could scribble out anything within the text box if I wanted to as well. And then I'm just going to delete that. Remember that you can also lock things into place, which I think is so great. Here you can just tap your text tool, and you can honestly tap anywhere to add text. You don't have to just use them in the text boxes. I really like the feature of them having text boxes because everything's kind of already perfectly typed within those frames, but you can add text anywhere. I did want to mention that. And then you can move it to wherever you want, resize it. It's very, very user-friendly and very seamless experience using Zinnia as well. Here are my tools here to delete. And so now I have a very well-made, nice looking spread that only took me a few moments within the Zinnia app, just because there's so much that is offered. For future use of Zinnia, I can definitely see myself making more of these creative spreads whenever I just want to kind of have a little bit of stress relief, not have to worry about being so perfect and drawing nice stickers or creating nice spreads in other apps. I can just quickly pull from Zinnia and use the stickers that they have to create really nice spreads. I can also plan how I would normally plan within my planner in this as well. If I hop over into December, for instance, I can plan out how I normally would plan. Let me have my technical pen here. Rent for me is always due on the 1st. So I can just write out my deadlines, add my stickers as usual using the picture tool and stuff, and plan as I normally would plan as well. But in Zinnia, alongside it, I could have my travel journals, kind of like an elopement planner or digital scrapbook style. So there's just a lot within the Zinnia app. You can also add a passcode to Zinnia as well if there's anything that you don't want easily accessed. Maybe kind of a journal or a diary situation, you can add your passcode as well. There's just a lot going with Zinnia. I hope you found this video fun and helpful. Zinnia is making its waves throughout the digital planning community. If you would love to see more videos featuring Zinnia, be sure to let me know down in the comments. I think there's a lot of potential with Zinnia, and I think it could be fun exploring more parts of the app with you. If you do end up using Zinnia, do let me know, whether it's for gratitude, creative journaling, digital scrapbooking, just regular old planning. I'm interested in what you think you might end up using Zinnia for. If you have not yet subscribed, be sure to hit that subscribe button and make my day. But until then, I will see you next week with another video. Bye!